Welcome everyone to the Triple G Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Jimmy. With me is a whole bunch of freaking people. We record this podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. As become a member of this podcast, get extra podcast content every single month. This is the beginning of a new year. Happy 2025 to everybody out there. This is the beginning of a new season. Season 5? Season 5 of Triple G Podcast. That means we've done this for now the 5th year.
Jesus, what?
Is it 4? It's, well, the 5th season, 4th year. I think it's how the math works, because we started.
I don't know.
That's nuts. We didn't start with season 0. We started with season 1. So this is now the beginning of the 4th year of our show, which is nuts. Yeah, it's nuts. And to celebrate this, we have, in no particular order, except for the last one's the worst guy, Jeff Troidvania is on the show. We have Cheesy from the Communication Error Podcast. And we have the worst guy. Say hi, worst guy.
Your fantasy football champion. The greatest Nintendo fan to ever live. The John Ebo.
I was listening to your guys' show, the Communication Error Podcast, earlier today. And I was thinking to myself, like, how did Nintendo let this one slip away? How did they give free stuff to this guy who talks crap on them every second he can?
I don't get.
And then he gets free. And he gets free. He got a free Switch.
He got free games. What have I talked crap on him about?
No. Listen, you do, and I think that's great. Everyone should, but usually everybody else that does that to them, they just completely shun them.
I don't think they've seen my stuff. Like, there's 100%.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
They must have saw my name and the numbers, and they're like, that must be good. Nintendo. Yeah.
Look, he stole our Amiibo logo. He's got to be great.
So I got Echoes of Wisdom, but I didn't get Super Mario Party and Mario and Luigi.
Oh, they might have been like, they might have figured.
I got to reach back out to that guy, see if he'll give me some stuff.
Remember me?
Not that Nintendo listened to this podcast.
Yeah, we saw your video about throwing Joy-Cons in the trash, and
all of the videos, 20 of them.
And how we became friends? Well, how we became friends, I have no idea, because when I saw your content, I was like, "What is this asshole doing throwing Skyward Sword Joy-Cons in the trash? Special edition." And now it's a common occurrence of you. Every special edition that you got, you just toss it, and you don't toss it lightly. Like I do, I see you. You put a clean trash bag.
You got to do it for effect.
You put a clean trash bag, and I see you do that. One. But you literally just go bop, bop.
No,
bop.
the last one when you were talking about the Switch 2's coming out. We can get around like, oh yeah, that last one. The last couple that went in there, I'm like, dude, stop.
It's a shallow garbage can.
It is. Piracy is bad, and that's why they like you, it says Megaboy, which is probably
they probably saw that. That's probably the only video they saw. And they're like, all right.
Well, the way you became friends with him is the complete opposite the way that I did, because when I first met John Ebo, it was on TikTok, and he was making these like really like clever Animal Crossing TikToks. Yeah, I thought they were fun. And I was like, okay, this is another person who likes to make, Nintendo content, just kind of goofing off, whatever. And then I actually met him in real life, and I was like, this was a mistake.
Brutal. You're not selling our subpar podcast.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Do you want the links for these? Speaking of which, there's links for everyone in the chat right now, or everyone in our Discord call is down below. So make sure to go check everyone out here. Communication Error Podcast, Jeff Troidvania YouTube, and Cheesy on Twitter. He's a good follow. You should check him out. Do you do anything else, Cheesy, or are you just hanging out with Communication Error and you're doing Twitter pretty much? Is that what you're doing these days?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I think right now I've kind of just fallen off of making videos, because like you guys said like earlier, they're so hard to make, and like I'm just kind of done.
TikToks take a minute, bro. TikToks take a minute.
But there's nothing for me in it that is like rewarding in the sense of like everyone is just talking about the news. Everyone is talking about like what is the like headline like clickbait text that everyone is talking about. And like, that's not fun for me, but I know as a smaller content creator, you got to talk about the things that people are like really interested in right now. Or
you find that hole that nobody's talking about, but everybody wants to know about. That's the other thing you can do. That's the way you do it.
I was doing that with Splatoon, and like I really enjoyed doing that, but I also didn't want to like pigeonhole myself into just Splatoon content, Splatoon lore. As much as I love the series, it's like, you know, it's kind of hard. You had the people that were doing that with Animal Crossing, and look at where they're at now. Like I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. I want to also congratulate Cheesy, because Cheesy took a while off the content recently because he recently congratulated. You didn't congratulate your daughter. You brought into this world a beautiful child. Congratulations.
I did congratulate her. As soon as she came in, I was like, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You escaped. You did it.
You did it. Nailed it. Good job. Record timing. Look at you.
And doubly cool, we share a birthday, your child and I, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. When I found out that she was born, was the day she was born. That was weird to say that way.
I know what you mean.
When I found out she was born, she was born. It was November 19th, and I was like, oh, that's the same day as the Wii. And then Jeeb comes into like I think it was like Twitter or something, and he's like, same day as my birthday. And I was like, of course, yes, I knew that too.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, I thought that was cool, and again, congratulations, man. That's super cool. Hopefully, y'all have a beautiful life together.
Thank you.
And as far as what's not going to be beautiful, the next couple weeks until we get any real information for the Switch 2.
What happened to my camera?
I don't know, Drum. I was trying to avoid it like a professional, but somebody isn't professional. I had to talk about it.
The show must go on.
Yeah, let it go. I'll figure it out. I mean, I'm still
figuring it out. We're just going to ignore the giant black bar on the screen. So yeah, guys, this is insane. We haven't gotten any information. Can you believe it? Can anyone in this currently very large Discord call for this podcast believe that it's taken this long to hear anything? I know I certainly can't.
I thought everyone was saying that we would definitely hear something this week.
You know, I heard that too.
Tomorrow.
Today?
Tomorrow.
No, it's today. People said today. People are going to be saying
that was like
today.
No, it was the 8th.
That was a couple weeks ago. Now it's today. Apparently, somebody
it was supposed to be today. Yeah, from what everybody was saying. The 8th. It was a big thing about somebody 8th.
At CES this week said it was going to be on Thursday. Like somebody from France said it's going to be Thursday. So tomorrow.
And somebody from Germany said it's going to be Friday. And somebody from, wherever, dumbfuck, said it's going to be Saturday. And every single day, someone's going to be saying it's going to be the other day. It's going to be this day.
Then they're going to be like, oh, I was right.
And then they're going to, and then when they're wrong, they just delete their account, or they just don't say anything and just hoping nobody noticed.
They make a new account.
Yeah. So where do we begin? I don't have any notes for this because literally there's been so much happening. Probably since before the new year, there was a ton of stuff happening. I think last time Drip and I did a podcast, we were talking about that guy who was holding quote unquote Nintendo hostage with Switch images that he was going to leak onto Christmas Day, which of course was always nonsense. It was never true.
Hey, he did it. He did it.
He did. What did he leak? He didn't leak anything legitimate. It was.
He showed the console.
Did he?
He he did. He showed the side of it.
Where's the side? Yes, that was the one. There was the side of the system,
and then he put out another picture too with showing the orange color. Yeah, my camera's. I'm gonna give it a second. It's hot or something. I guess I don't know what's going on.
That's
here.
Okay.
Yeah. Then he showed the other one that showed the Joy-Con rail that was orange. That was him too. Right?
But
he showed several things. But he's been saying a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, but the dock that apparently he's been getting out there, he said the dock was smaller than the original dock. And the dock that seems to be the one that is going to be the one, which we've seen images of recently, is not smaller. In fact, it's bigger than the original Switch's dock.
Well, he said a lot. I don't know about that. I'd have to look into that because I don't know. It seems like everyone else is saying this guy clearly has one of these things. Except you.
Yeah, but I remember I remember that specific detail because that was a part of what made the moderator on Reddit keep the post up because quote they had a picture they had a picture of the dock that was showed to the moderator and it looked real, quote unquote. But part of that description of the dock was that it was smaller, blah blah blah. And now that we pretty much know now, thanks to Genki and other, the collaboration to this point that where we got and how we got here, we know the dock is much bigger than the original dock. So like
you think that's bigger?
Yeah,
I don't think it's bigger.
It is bigger because it's the size of the screen. Am I gonna have to show these images on screen? Open to my browser.
When I think bigger, I think taller.
Bigger.
And this is not taller.
It's bigger all the way around. So I can't have a way to show these pictures to you guys specifically, but I'm just gonna show it to the stream if I can. Can I do that? Oh, that's the wrong one. This screen. So here's the images I have. If you guys don't mind looking at the stream for a second, because I know I can't share these with you. Here's the images that I've seen recently online, and this shows of an updated look of what they're expecting the Switch 2 dock to look like based off of.
You think that
images.
looks bigger? It looks the same.
Johnny. So hold on a second. So look at this picture of this dock and tell me. Remember that this is the Switch 2, not the original Switch, and the Switch 2 screen is literally an inch bigger all the way around. It's 8-inch screen, and it covers the whole screen. Therefore, it is way bigger than the original dock, which only covered a 6.5 or 7-inch screen. So it's a bigger dock, period.
Okay.
It is a bigger dock.
That's fine.
But the Reddit guy said the dock was much smaller than the original dock.
But look at that photo. Not knowing the size of the Switch, if you're just looking at that picture and then looking at a dock, that looks smaller because it doesn't go as high up on the Switch. So it does look smaller if you don't know what the size actually is. So maybe that's why the guy said, oh, it looks smaller.
That's a good point. I didn't actually... I didn't actually think about that detail. It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't cover all the way to the top. However, it's still much wider.
Yeah, but if you don't know it's an 8-inch screen or don't really take that into consideration, it just looks like, oh, that's kind of short and small.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right. I just interpret it differently, which you guys.
It looks about the same. Like, I wouldn't say it looks bigger or smaller. It looks about the same.
Well, it's certainly wider. We can guarantee it's wider based off of the fact that it's an 8-inch screen and it has to go across the length of it. So it's definitely wider. But you guys are right. I think it's not necessarily smaller in terms of height. It probably might be the same height, but wider.
It just shows more. It shows more screen off the top.
And it's wider. It's definitely wider.
Yeah, it's definitely wider.
Anyway,
and the back is like circled.
Anyway, I'm not stamping down that guy was right at all by any means. Am I saying I'm not saying the guy was right? What do you got? Who are you guys? I've been talking a lot. You guys speak. You guys tell me.
I mean, I think the guy has a Switch at this point. I mean, he was holding it. There was some things. I want to know what you guys think about this. There were some things going around. Everybody putting that image that he posted. He was holding the Switch like you could see the side of it. But if you put it in one of those checkers to see if it was an AI image, every single one that was put into there came back. It was 99% that it was probably AI. But then I guess people were coming around to saying like it was just the background. He was trying to like blur out his background. So I don't know.
An AI like fact checker think that it's AI since it's not something that is like been announced as real?
I have no idea how those things work.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No clue, but that's a good point.
I'm trying to get in the mind of an AI and say like, oh, I haven't seen this before. Like, I think this is something I made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? And I guess it would know, but that was one of the things people were saying. But then a lot of the other images that have come out too, there have been people clearly making AI backgrounds on things that are real. There's a picture of the dock out there somewhere. It's like a full picture of the back of the dock, but the background looks like it looks like a dirty garage floor. It's
this Genki mock-up, like it looks pretty legit.
Yeah. Oh, I think that stuff's real.
Yeah, I agree.
The stuff from Genki, that's real.
We'll talk about Genki in a second, but I found another image that I have saved from throughout the week when I was saving stuff. Again, please don't, if you don't mind, look at the stream. Oop, that's wrong button. Look at the stream for a second. People in the Discord. But yeah, here's an image of the dog. This is posted by Mike Odyssey on Twitter. I just screenshot it when I saw it.
Well, he 3D printed it.
Right. I was gonna say this is definitely a 3D printed image. But it gives you an idea what I mean when I say it's bigger. So his 3D image, of course, this is no CAD render for this. He just kind of eyeballed it, is my guess. It's a little bit taller than the original Switch dock, and it's a lot wider than the original Switch dock. So therefore, it is bigger than the original Switch dock. And it wouldn't be that hard to compare it to the original Switch dock, because those are readily available. So he should just be able to put it like this photo is, put the original Switch dock next to this one that he has, and you could tell it's much bigger. But the fact that he said it's much smaller is sus.
Can I be a bummer?
I'm very suspicious of this leaker, this quote unquote leaker on Reddit.
Start now?
Can I? Why do we care about the dock? Like, why do we care what the dock looks like?
Because the technology could potentially have inside of it is important.
Yes, that's what I care about. I don't care about the size of the dock.
The size of the
I
dock,
know what
you
the
can
dock
infer.
is going to look like, man.
It's called context clues. You can look at it and go, ooh, I can infer that there's a lot more tech in this
judging
dock.
by what the dock looks like, it doesn't look like it has shit in it.
I agree with you, Drip.
The
I agree
one
with you.
thing
Some
that
people
they
really care
did,
about the
that
size
what
of the
the
dock.
one thing that leaked was the wattage that they needed, like 60.
Correct. Yeah, you're right. 60 watts. Yeah.
That's what
charging.
the charger. Yeah, the charger is going to be 60 watts. It looks like. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm dumb. I don't know how technology works, but apparently that's more than what the original Switch
The
has.
original
Yeah,
Switch
40 is more. 60 is more than
49.
40. You're right. Yeah.
Or 39. 39.
But what is it?
39.
So
It's,
it needs
15
more
volts
power.
at 2.6 amps.
Right. Right, Jeff. It
So
needs more power. It needs more power.
So it's I mean, we know it's gonna pull more power, which means it's gonna be, whatever, a better Switch, which is
Breaking news:
kind
the
of in
Switch
line,
2 is going to
yes.
use more power than the original Switch. I know everybody is shocked over that. I saw
I'm so
not
sick of
naming
this. I don't know.
names.
I'm so over these
Dear
freaking
God.
leaks, man. I'm so
Yeah,
over these leaks.
I'm with you, dude, because not naming names, I saw some creators out there posting videos about, literally the video was about the fact that it was a 60-watt charger, and I'm like pulling my non-existent hair out. Because I'm like,
Get those clicks, bro.
who
Yeah.
fucking cares? Of course it's going to draw more power. Of course.
okay. Well, I actually have something that is real. It's not even a leak. It's put out public.
Yeah.
By Nintendo. Well, not by Nintendo, but they did it. It's a patent. And it's basically for, they basically just patented DLSS, even though NVIDIA owns it. Tell me how that works. I don't know. But this is some interesting stuff. Let me get my notes up here. This is actually kind of crazy because there are a few things in here that are not only interesting, but make you kind of wonder, like, what the future is going to be for the rest of anything that wants to do this. One thing, so they basically put a patent on machine learning and upscaling for handheld device. Like, it's basically covers everything. It's like a blanket statement of every type of upscaling, and it's so vague. It's crazy. It's 39 pages, which is that there's so much information
That's
there.
the longest book I've ever read.
It's basically a small book, which is, that's too much for me to read. But the short version is, they basically talk about upscaling from 540p all the way to 4K, but everything in between that. They talk about 540 to 720, 720 to 1080. Like literally any combination of those numbers you could think of, they talk about it in the patent, which I don't know. I don't think they're going to do all of those, but they may. They also mentioned doing it with the tensor cores, which is basically what does the upscaling. It's like what does all the stuff that the Switch doesn't have now that they had to put in it to make it be able to do this and run DLSS. So they have that included in the patent, which is, again, I don't understand that. But it's not, this is where it gets interesting. It's not only DLSS style upscaling that they're talking about here. They're talking about a bunch of different types of upscaling, and it can do videos, it can do photos, and it can do textures, all differently. Whatever it needs to do, that's what it'll do. And it can also use different types of upscaling depending on what situation it's in and how much time it has to do it in. So if it doesn't have enough time to use DLSS, it can go to a different type of upscaling and use that to make sure it's doing what it needs to do in time. So it's basically like scaled resolution or frame rates or whatever, but they're just doing like scaled upscaling, I guess. It just does it as it needs, as fast as it needs. And I mean, that's fucking crazy. I don't know if they're going to use that because, like I said, they've included so much stuff in this patent where it's like, if they use all of this stuff, and this is like all the things it can do, that's fucking crazy. Like, it's absolutely nuts.
Are these approved patents?
What?
Are these approved patents?
Yeah, they're filed. They're in. They're done. As of December 31st, 2024.
Okay.
They are in. Yeah, this is real. Now, again, they patent a ton of shit that they don't use.
Yeah.
And these may just be ideas that they were doing along the way and decided it was, that's badass. Let's make sure nobody else can do it.
What was this one about scaling of scaling? I want to talk more about that one because I feel like that's the most realistic one that we have, and it could potentially even be utilized.
Scaling of scaling.
Didn't you say it was like scaling of scaling?
I did not.
Well, okay. What was the one that you said about scaling then?
Which part of scaling?
Just read over the scaling one again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The scaling on scaling. What don't you understand?
All of that. Let me look back to my notes here.
We know the system's going to be upscaled. Like it's going to be upscaled. There's no chance.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you can use. There's different types that it can use. It doesn't have to be DLSS upscaling.
Okay.
They're basically saying here that it knows how to do several different types of upscaling. So
got it.
If let's say whatever it's running, it doesn't have enough time between frames to use DLSS and it can't do it fast enough, it can go to a stupider version of an upscaler and use that instead. But it can do it in real time.
Quote unquote, it will use a stupider upscaler.
They've been using AMD's FSR, which is literally just code. It runs off the CPU. So if DLSS is too heavy, they could probably just pivot to that. And it might just be what the patent's about. Like being able to pivot to different forms of artificial upscaling to maybe like have a different impact. So if one impacts battery less and you're not on the dock, maybe it'll switch to that instead.
That's a good point. That could be what it's for. There's other parts too, and this may upset you guys, but it can also do cloud upscaling. So things that are coming from the cloud, it can also upscale those and make those run better.
I don't hate that
as well.
I don't hate that at all.
Which, I mean, that kind of means
you don't hate paying full price for a cloud game.
Don't unquote me.
I mean,
here.
it doesn't necessarily mean that it's for sure staying. But it sounds like cloud gaming.
Cloud gaming isn't going anywhere, and I'm not going to be the curmudgeon to try to prevent it because it's not going anywhere. So if it's going to be around, at least having this technology is really cool because some of the issues you have cloud gaming is, let's say you have a good connection, but only to a certain point. Like you can only run the game 720p to make it actually playable, but you'd rather play it at 4K or at least something close to it. This allows you to play the game at a lower bandwidth on your so you can actually play it, well on your internet, but it'll upscale it to a high resolution so it looks like you're playing something better, but you're cloud streaming. I don't think that's bad at all. I think if we're going to have cloud gaming, which we are, and it's not something we're going to get a say in. We're going to have cloud gaming is here to stay. If we're going to have it, I think that's actually awesome technology to utilize.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get Kingdom Hearts Cloud version 2.0.
Yeah. It's going to be upscaled so hard.
Well, yeah. Well, let me ask you guys about this. Now, this is something this part of this, that's the first thing that came to mind. But the second thing that came to mind was the size of GameCube games and how they may not want to put those on the system directly if they bring them to Nintendo Switch Online. This could be a way to have those play from the cloud if you don't have them directly on the system and keep them looking good and running good.
I don't think that's the factor.
We're technically we're streaming the NSO games now, right? Like they're not.
No, they're on the system.
They're
they're on the system.
But they're all small. That's the thing. They all fit in that little app. They're tiny.
I think it's going to work a little differently. I don't think it's going to work like you download, like all the games are preloaded in the app and you just download the app and you have the games, because obviously the GameCube games are much bigger. I think what's going to happen, and most likely, is you download the app and it's like a mini eShop within the app, but it's not to the eShop. It's to like where you download the GameCube games, because while they're bigger, individually they're very small. They're still like less than a gig each. Some of them maybe go over a few gigs, if that. But like it's easy enough.
The disc can only hold like 1.6 gigabytes or something. So they can't be any bigger than that. Right.
So at worst, it's 1.6 gigabytes or around that. And what you do is when you want to play one of those games, or you can even just pre-download it at a time you choose later. Just when you go to play one of the games, you just download the game.
You guys are still optimistic.
It'll take you quick to do that because it's only a couple gigs.
We're gonna get like 5 if they do GameCube games. We're gonna get like 5 GameCube games. And then they're just going to stop. So, like, it's not going to be that big of an app anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard anything about GameCube, have we? Not that officially, anyway.
No. But I mean, it's
or unofficially.
Clearly, they're going to keep the Nintendo Switch Online stuff and our accounts active. So, I mean, that as far as we go in the timeline, that's got to be one of the next things, if not the next thing.
I mean, they have to have some way to sell you onto the new system, right? They need you.
Yeah.
They need to convert people, and GameCube games on Nintendo Switch Online would be a way to convert people.
Yes,
yeah.
It would be.
Let's move on to one more picture here quickly. I have another picture that I saved throughout the week that we were offline, and that's going to be this button. This motherboard. We saw this motherboard going around. I want to specifically ask Jeff, because Jeff is the adult in the room, especially when it comes to like this kind of stuff, stuff that I don't understand. The motherboards are floating around. Do you think that's any bit legitimate, or is it just somebody who knows how to make something look real?
It could be. I mean, honestly, those things can vary in how they look a lot. So it could look like that.
Is this a father board?
That's what I want to know.
Good insight, Cheesy.
Is it 8nm or 5nm?
Technically, this would be a logic board. It wouldn't be a motherboard because you don't connect smaller boards to it.
See? There you go.
They do use terms like daughter board.
It's fake. The leak is fake. There you go.
Yeah, so you're not putting RAM in. You're not putting other boards. You're not like a computer is a motherboard because you put a PCI Express card that's like a graphics card that has its own board on it, and that connects to the motherboard. But with a laptop, for most newer laptops, tablets, phones, those are all logic boards because you don't connect peripherals directly to the board. You connect them to like a separate connector, like a USB or something.
I just figured I'd ask because I did see the motherboard was another thing floating around throughout the week that
I mean, that was
sure about.
That was one that people were really like, this is too much to fake. Way too much to fake.
It's a good fake. I'll tell you what, if it's fake, it's a good fake. I mean, it looks real to me.
You can go on websites these days and you could draw a board, a PCB, and have it printed and shipped to you.
Yeah, you can. That's why I asked you because like you'd be able to tell better than I would. Yeah. But it looks real to me.
And then you could just have like you could bind graphics and like that look like ships like that.
Are you telling me not everything on the internet's real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw all these images and I thought they were real.
Nah. All right.
Well, I know a lot of people are upset about that image because I guess it confirmed that it was going to be the power of PS4,
right,
or PS4 Pro.
Raw power.
Let me ask you guys a question. What is going to get you? Okay. What is going to? What's going to get you excited about the Switch 2? Because right now, if I'm being honest,
trailer.
Honestly, yeah.
Its existence.
Nintendo actually is saying that it exists,
but I think
me something.
The games, you dumb. We talked about this. The games, dude. Mario. As soon as you see Mario Kart 10 or 9, like it's over. Like, that's hype right there.
Yeah, but where I'm at right now is like all of these leaks and everything the people are saying is like, oh, this is what it is. And like, we had this thing with the NX when they first revealed it, and then it turned out to be Stewie Griffin's head. And
yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Everyone thought that was real, and it wasn't.
Yep. And everyone thought that was real.
And though
I thought that was real.
The Genki CES stuff, it does look legitimately real. I feel like that is kind of taken the excitement out of the sales.
you want to know why?
The sales, yeah.
You want to know why? Because Nintendo fumbled.
No,
they dropped the ball.
But that's what I'm saying is, even if we do see it, like, cool, they finally announced it. They finally gave it a name. It is real. But like, is that exciting? Because to me, that's almost like when you get excited to watch a Nintendo Direct and then everyone's like, oh, this game is going to be here and this game is going to be here.
Everything gets leaked, yeah.
And you're like, oh, maybe. And then you see it in the Direct and you're like, oh, okay, I guess that was real. But it's not like the excitement that you have like when we all saw Metroid Dread. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Because if this is the real thing, if this actually is it, and they pop that trailer up and it's like, here's a matte black Switch with, the color under the buttons and everything does exactly what it says. And it's like, okay, cool. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nearly as exciting. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I kept telling Jeep the other day. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I see what it looks like. That's all I wanted to know.
I wasn't really excited for the new console like itself. Like, I knew it was we all knew it was probably gonna be another hybrid console that was more powerful. I'm just waiting for the games, and the games haven't leaked yet. So like, I'm gonna be very excited when that trailer.
That's very weird thing too. Yeah, maybe people are just so caught up with the console itself they forgot about the games, or maybe Nintendo stopped posting their trailers as
on the back end
of YouTube, and nobody can find them anymore. Maybe that's it.
Friends we made along the way. You know?
Yeah, it could be.
Well, I think a lot of these leaks are coming from accessory manufacturers like Genki, and that's why they don't know about the games. They don't know anything about the games.
Well, I mean, and clearly some of these, like the stuff that they were showing at CES, like that's real.
So are the Nintendo Ninjas not getting to it because like potentially the NDA for these products, like that date just hit, and then like they can't do anything about it?
That's been honestly what I've thought for a while. Like, because it seemed like there was a date where it was like, okay, here's one, and then there's another, and then there's another, and it seems like somewhere around that time was, like you're saying, like a date where Nintendo had given these people all the information they need, all the specs, so they can start building their stuff. And that was the date they were allowed to talk about it. And something internally has changed with Nintendo, and they've had to move out, but the existing NDAs weren't changed. I don't really know how NDAs work like with that though. Like, can you be like, hey, never mind, you have to sign a new one, and then they could just be like, well, no,
it might have been like the end of the year. Maybe they signed it.
They were coming out before the end of the year, though.
They were before the end of the year, and NDAs are done as they're written. It's a contract, just like any other contract. So
you can't just rewrite that contract.
Yes, you can, as long as it's agreed by the parties. As far as I'm concerned, yeah. I mean, I'm not any expert here. I'm just
I mean, CES is like CES is like the E3 for these. Accessory makers. So of course, like they're gonna want to get their products out, to the public,
to sell them to the people.
Yeah.
I mean, all the people who come to these are the people who are like, okay, I want to stock this on my online store or put this in my shop. Like that. These are the deals they're gonna make at these things. Like this is like basically what I used to do at all these vape conventions too. I mean, I was making back end deals trying to shoot all their products for them, but like, they were bringing stuff in and doing deals, and like everybody who owned shops was in there buying mass quantities or ordering at least. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean this is where they're going to make their money especially right now with this thing being brand new and them.
I think we have to be close. Many people
have it.
I think we have to be close. I think we have to be close. Like it has to be.
Of course we are. They said themselves. Nintendo said March is when they had the deadline they have to announce it. So we know
it's going to be March 31st at 11:59 p.m.
That's when they're going to reveal March 10th. You can mark your calendars, folks. We Drip and G podcast. We talked about this months ago. Months ago, we said March 10th.
Mario Day,
and that's why I almost guarantee it's going to be
40th anniversary. 40th anniversary.
Yeah, dude, it's huge. It's my birthday.
We already know that it's been 8. Johnny, tell me how many years it's been since the last Mario Kart and last Mario game.
7.5. Oh, Mario Kart has been 10 years, over 10 years.
It's on Mario. How poetic would it be for Mario Day to announce the system that they only have at that point 2 more weeks to announce it? So announce the system with a trailer that's going to be with the trailer, of course. They're not going to just tweet it. They're going to put a trailer out there, and it's going to be, they're going to show games. They're not going to show no games on there. It's going to show the next Mario Kart game. It's going to show the next Mario 3D game in the trailer on Mario Day. It's March 10th. Stop listening to us. Stop listening to everybody else out there who's trying to tell you, oh, it's tomorrow, it's today, it's next week.
Wait. You're saying March 10th? They're going to release it on a Monday?
Yep.
Reveal it.
Now they did. Mario Day was on a Sunday last year.
It's Mario Day.
They did a bunch of shit. They dropped a bunch of shit too. So there is history. It has happened. So
everybody calls it Mario Day
on the 10th. Then when is it releasing?
We don't even need to get there. Like I hear you, Cheesy.
I think it's
but we don't even need to
release
get
on the
to that
10th.
question. We need to just get to when they're going to announce it, because at this point, people are saying they know when it's going to be announced, but then when it's going to be released, it's going to be April, right? And I'm just
We have
like,
to wait
guys,
2 more
I'm like,
months to
guys,
see this
relax
thing?
with the April, because I'm hearing the April thing going on right now. I'm like, April? It's not going to be announced. It's not going to be released in April. They're going to announce the thing in March. But you guys are saying it's going to happen tomorrow. Not you guys. The theoretical guys.
We have to wait 2 more months to see it?
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Awful.
Yes.
No way.
Yes, because you've waited this
Everything's
long
gonna
already.
leak. So we're going to be playing the thing before they reveal it.
If the leaks were enough for them to push them to release it quicker, they have already set up in their mind a date, and that date is in March. They told you.
Man.
They didn't tell you that specifically, but they basically alluded to it.
Walmart's going to have these things on the fucking shelf.
Yeah,
before we see the trailer.
Yeah,
man.
they're going to be in the warehouses. But people, the idiots are going to smoke weed and play
Walmart's going to have them
in the
the
stock room.
shelves.
I think we're closer than March 10th. I mean, they just
honestly, I think it's this month. I think it's this month.
Nintendo of Japan changed their banner to Mario and Luigi presenting something.
And you know what, Cheesy? I changed my underwear today too, but that doesn't mean I'm going to shit my pants. So,
you know what that means?
So
it means
What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
Wait, whoa. What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry. I had to.
No, that was great.
It teed me up for that one.
I hope somebody clip that, please.
Yo, seriously.
I hope it's just a whole Willy Wonka situation with that banner. You know, you get nothing, you lose.
It's everybody. I saw the banner thing today. I'm not going to discredit the banner. I saw the banner thing. Everybody's just taking the smallest bit, the Tic Tac worth of food, and turning it into a banquet buffet.
As we should. That was the first thing that Nintendo has given us since.
Hey, here's something interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know it's not a lot, but it's like it's coming from Nintendo themselves. Let people speculate. That is the way that people should be speculating. What was that?
They tweeted about Emio today.
And the
fitness boxing.
And yeah. But no, I mean, just that little crumb is something to go off of versus all of these leakers that are saying this is what it is. And at this point, I genuinely think that is what it is. But we still don't know. Like, it hasn't been officially said. So if they show Mario and Luigi presenting something, like, that is something that is closer to the reveal.
Something Kit and Krista said a while back, which I don't listen to their show that often, but I do listen to it because I trust them and their insights because they work for the company. They've been in those halls. And something they said a while back was Nintendo's not the kind of company to like lead you on in that kind of way. Like this exact thing. They're not the kind of company to change a banner, to wink at something that they know is going to happen soon, but they want to tease everybody because they want to build the hype. They're not that kind of company. They've had this date that's in March, which I guarantee you is March 10th. They've had this date for over a year is my guess. They've had this date because they've known when they're going to do it. They've delayed the thing. Whenever they made their mind up they're going to delay it is when they knew it was March. And they're not just gonna they're not releasing they're not changing their banner on Twitter because it's coming out in January. Like they're just not doing that. They're doing it because everybody knows it's coming. They know it's coming, but it's coming soon. It's not gonna be January. This banner could be like this for months.
You guys ready for some insider information here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Who's our insider?
I just got an email from MobilePad.
Oh.
There's nothing really in it.
Oh.
They asked me if I got the controller they sent me, and I said I think it's in my mailbox.
Well, you've talked to them before firsthand about some information.
They did say, they said, okay, if you have time, go down and check your mailbox, which I did. It is here. They said Switch 2 is about to be released. This product is mainly for Switch 1, and we are also about to release accessories for the Switch 2.
Wow. Can I say, Drip?
Apparently, Genki said that their accessories are going to launch alongside the system in April.
Perfect segue because we're going to go to Genki next because Genki's been in the news cycle as of last few days.
I should email them and see what See if they'll give me any information. I just asked MobilePad when the thing's coming out, so maybe they'll email me back and tell me.
I didn't sign no NDA.
I didn't sign shit. Tell me. I'll tell everybody right now.
I ain't done sign shit.
Yeah. So Genki's been all over the place. CES has been happening. It's in California this year, right?
Sure.
Las Vegas.
No,
Las
Vegas.
Okay, it's in Las Vegas.
So it's in Vegas.
So yeah, they're at Las Vegas and they announced something, a product for a system that they are calling the Switch 2. And why that is interesting, I don't think, do I have this post anymore? Where is it at? Where's it at? There it is. Why that's interesting is, well, for obvious reasons here. It's the Switch 2 that we're waiting for. But this video went viral on Twitter this weekend. You guys are seeing it right now if you're looking at the stream. It's this very deep. Now, we've seen something like this before. We saw this with Satisfy. We saw this with, what's the other company? Dbrand. But this video, my friends, if you're not watching the podcast, if you're not watching the podcast, if you usually listen, please go to our live feed or go to our YouTube channel to check this one out visually, because you're going to want to see this if you haven't seen it. This is the most detailed thing we possibly could have ever seen. It's very much renders. It's still like not real, but it is, I mean, the most possibly detailed thing you could ever see without actually holding the thing in your hands or seeing a picture of it.
Two things that I do want to talk about. One, we'll talk about in a second, which is the release button and how it releases. It looks like it just pushes something into the inside to like pry it off the side, which I think is very weird. But the most interesting thing here is the mouse sensor, which you can clearly see on the side of the Joy-Con.
Optical sensor.
It's an optical sensor, like a
Mario
mouse.
Paint coming back. Let's go.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Give me fucking Mario Paint. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, Mario Paint confirmed. Let's go. That's all I care about. It's Matt
People
Black
are
and
too
Mario
young
Paint
to know that they released a mouse with the SNES.
It was sick too. God, it was sick. I played so much Mario Paint. Do you remember the music thing where you could like put the shapes and the music notes
and the fly swatter? Actually,
the fly swatter.
Mario Maker 2, I think, has the fly swatter in it.
Wow, really?
Like, I think so. I think it has the mini game like as a secret.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I will say this too. Other than the mouse thing, that's really cool. I like this case like a whole lot.
Oh, I do too, man. I was thinking to myself, like, oh, that looks like Skull & Co's, but like better.
It does. It's exactly like that, which is the one I loved. Yeah, but it looks nice. It's like sleeker and like
it's a real
really
case.
Nice.
It's a case, not just a grip. Yeah, I saw this.
This is an interesting
is
thing
that a
too.
charging? Is that a charging thing?
I don't know. It may be wireless charging
because it has the.
Yeah, it does. But I do have something here from Genki, which also takes something like that. This little thing here that they make is a little SSD, and it has the same little magnets on the back here. It actually comes with a circular magnet that you can like attach to things, because this is actually for the Steam Deck or ROG Ally or whatever, that you can put like different stuff
so
on here.
You think that could be like a storage expansion?
Yeah, possibly. I think maybe
not wireless. It's not wireless though. It would be
it's
like,
not wireless. It's just so you can like clip it to the back, and it just. But they make this thing. This is theirs, and it already has the magnets. So
the save point.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that that might be something that you can plug into maybe the extra USB-C port and expand the storage that way from an SSD that hangs on the back.
Yeah, let's talk about that, but also just in general, that render again, because it is exactly what we've seen. Just it's gotten better and better every iteration we've seen of this render by other, like we saw, who we played originally with. Who was the original company? It was just like random third parties with cases, right? It wasn't anybody, no name brand companies.
Silhouettes.
Right.
Nobody's shown it like this.
No, I mean, the closest we got was Dbrand. Inside of their case, you could see the Switch inside of their, hard shell case. But like,
what's weird about this is like
it's confirming the USB-C port on the top. It's confirmed everything we've seen. They're putting their balls on the walls with this render and this case and this product.
It's weird, like they have this
absolutely
here.
Killing it.
You drink a Moscow Mule before a show, you get happy,
They have this thing, but they don't have any details of it. Like it's just this video. Like there's no specs of the case or anything or features. Like
I did see the video of somebody at the show where they like flip the back of the Joy-Con part down or something, and then it pops the Joy-Con off, and then you put it back on and like flip it back up. But this to me looks like it comes off with the Joy-Con. Like
does that mean
like 3 separate pieces? I mean, I don't know.
Separate Joy-Con case, because that's like a.
I don't know. There's a bunch of videos floating around too of people just going up to the booth and like touching the thing and seeing how it works and stuff. And they're not really great videos, so you don't really understand it. But I mean, like,
this is a dummy unit, right? It's still a dummy unit, right? It's not a real system. No one's confirmed that that's a.
You can tell.
Apparently, Genki has said they have a real working one, but that's not the one, right? There's no chance, right?
You can tell whatever they're holding from the pictures when they like compare it to a regular. It doesn't have a real screen. It's just like a matte black, like 3D printed like texture on where the screen is. So
okay, yeah,
I don't think it's real.
Right.
If this is what the system looks like the just matte black, it's sleek looking, but it doesn't look like a Nintendo console to me.
I will give you that. It looks a little meaner. A little meaner than Nintendo usually likes to go. I'll agree with you on that. I love the way it looks, so I hope this is real. I love the matte black.
Let's do a couple speculative things here. The optical sensor, of course, let's get to that first, because everyone's been saying it's like a mouse. It's going to turn your Joy-Con into a mouse. I don't think that's going to happen at all, but I want to hear what you guys think.
I hope. That's all I got.
What else would it be for?
It's an optical sensor. It's not exclusively
on
for
the
mice
inside.
input.
That's the weird part.
I agree. It's weird that I can't figure this one out.
And what's the one that does that already? What's the handheld that does that?
The Legion Go.
It's like one of the Joy-Cons is a mouse, like on the bottom though, right?
Yeah, because like you kind of hold it in like an arcade stick style, but on the bottom of it, you just swerve it around your table, and it's a mouse input. But that's because it's a computer. I mean, it's because, and also they're branding it for playing PC games on the go. That's not what Switch is going to be doing.
Nintendo has dropped a mouse before.
Oh man, mouse and keyboard controls for Splatoon about to wreck everybody.
Oh my
god! I just don't know any other than the mouse thing. Anybody have any idea what you could use an optical sensor for that's not a mouse input? I mean, I can't really think of one other than like maybe it's a light sensor and not just, maybe it's a lot more simple than we're thinking. Maybe it's some sort of light sensor. You can like.
I'm just trying to think like, why would Nintendo need a mouse? Exactly. I know that we've said Nintendo or Mario Paint, and so like they had that, but that was one example that you could use that mouse with, right? Like, did they
when they have their social media app?
Yeah, I mean.
Also, they put the optical sensor.
The optical sensor's on the Joy-Con, and it's used by what?
It's a light sensor. Like it's a light sensor. It's not an optical sensor. It's a light sensor. Which is it the same thing?
That's an infrared sensor.
Yeah, infrared sensor. Yeah,
it's all the same. It's a sensor. It's fine.
Yeah, you use it for Ring Fit.
Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for being the smart one and not letting Johnny tell you what is and what isn't.
But I'm like the general consumer that is going to be like, I don't know what this thing is. It looks just like the thing that's on the bottom of the old Joy-Con.
Yeah, I mean it's different, but what could you even do with it on the side? That's the thing. Like if you're going to use it as a pointer, you're going to hold the Joy-Con like this? Like
it's for Just Dance and Just Dance only.
I mean maybe, maybe there's a game that they have in mind, because I mean, what else use the
Mario Maker would be a big one to use it.
What's the infrared? Yes, my camera is. I know about my camera, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to ignore you. It keeps going on and off. I was just giving it a little time to cool down. It's really hot. I mean I'm just trying to think of what they actually used the sensor on the bottom of the Joy-Con for. Ring Fit, Labo, like what else? 1-2 Switch.
It's like less than 50. Switch. It's like less than 15 games or whatever.
But they're all Nintendo. It's all Nintendo's games. So
there's a few that's not.
I mean, even if you did add this thing in, they could just have some weird thing in development. They're like, oh, we can throw that in there. It's fine. You can do it with that. It'll be fun. We'll just integrate it. Like, I mean, it could be
weird online test game would work because that was like a Minecraft like.
Oh yeah, it's for like blowing up blocks or like setting out blocks or something.
I have a quick theory here. I want you guys to tell me what you think. I know we haven't seen enough angles of the thing, and we actually haven't really seen a real angle of it at all. It's spoiler alert. But we haven't noticed a infrared sensor like we have like on the Joy-Con. We haven't noticed one of those. I don't
on
think,
the bottom,
right? Or anywhere. I've not seen an infrared sensor anywhere.
No, that's true. I didn't think
this
about
could just be replacing what the infrared sensor does in using an optical sensor in a different way, and Nintendo's utilizing it in a different, utilizing it. I don't know for a fact.
Well,
I know they do similar. They do similar things.
That's important.
They do similar things. You know,
the point though. Like, don't you point with the infrared? Like, isn't that what?
When you so I'll tell you what I know. This is what I know. When we saw that render we just saw from Genki, you notice how that optical sensor was blinking a red dot. It's the same kind of idea. Not exactly the same. It's different technology. Exactly. Drip with his mouse is a good example. If you wave your hand in front of that with the right software, probably detects something in some way. So my guess is this is replacing their the infrared sensor with an optical sensor that does a similar thing in a different way that gets the point across without having all of that tech. Because that infrared sensor is huge. If you ever had to replace one in a Joy-Con, you know that it's big as far as the small Joy-Cons are. The optical sensor, that little baby circle, is very small. So my guess is the space-saving thing for doing similar things you can do with an optical sensor, with a infrared sensor on the current Joy-Cons, with an optical sensor that's much smaller, cheaper, blah, blah, blah. That's my theory.
But this all hinges on if the optical sensor and the other one do the same thing, which I don't know if they do.
Right. And it's in a different spot, which wouldn't be convenient for like pointing at stuff. Whereas like
not at all.
The Joy-Con on the Switch, it's on the bottom, but it's still you could point at yourself and move it around. I guess you could hold it in one hand, use your other hand to move it around. That could be a thing. Like I could see like fishing games be a thing, or I don't know. It's not to jump straight to a mouse is just crazy to me. People are going right to a mouse.
Though.
It is. It's stupid.
First thing everybody thinks about when you see that.
They could
it's
use
literally
a mouse.
The first thing.
They could, yes, because clickbait culture. That's why.
Okay. No, what else is it for? What else is it for?
Whoa, hang on. Now think about this too. One thing that we have not seen are the little attachments that go onto the Joy-Con when you take them off of the Switch.
I don't think we're going to see those.
Now, on the last iteration, they just went on. It was just a wrist strap. What if these ones flare out and have a big flat spot so you can just put it on the table in front of you and it's got a little hole for the sensor to go through? It's just a mouse.
I don't think we're going to see those this generation.
What if that's the new way to Switch?
We're not going to see those this generation because
tabletop mode, then they go fucking PC mode, baby.
The way that this Joy-Con is designed for the Switch 2, according to all these leaks, is it's much more polished design. I think it's just going to be the way it is. The buttons are huge now. You don't need to slap something on to hold the buttons on. I'm sure there'll be a device that you can buy to put a wrist strap on, but it's not going to be the same idea. It'll look the same with a wrist strap, but that's it. This Joy-Con's designed where you can just tip it sideways, and the buttons are big and fat right there for you. So there's no need for a slip-on unless you're trying to.
There's going to be an attachment in the box. It's going to look like this.
No, it'll look like the same exact thing we have with a strap and no buttons.
I'd say.
These are still little baby. Like, I would not want to use a single Joy-Con one of these.
Yeah, they look longer, but they're still like. Yeah, dude, the Joy-Cons weren't even close. Like, not even close to being comfortable.
No.
Right.
One-handed use, they're fine. They're fine. Like,
that's what I mean.
They kick back on the couch.
As a controller sideways. How many of the four of you don't mind that mode? Like just using a Joy-Con sideways.
Never.
Can any of you do that comfortably?
No.
I'm playing like Mario Kart or something. Yeah, I don't care. I'll do it.
Honestly, show me what the Pro Controller looks like.
Cheesy. Great point that you bring up there, what the Pro Controller looks like.
That's a good point.
Because we have a couple pictures of...
Suck it, Johnny.
We have a couple pictures here from Twitter.
They're they're just feeding your ego, man. They didn't really mean it.
No, because I have a picture of third-party Nintendo Switch 2 accessories. This company is they don't have their name anywhere. It's probably one of these cheap Chinese brands that don't make real stuff.
Third party pro controllers always suck, man. They always suck.
But I just heard Cheesy say it was a good opportunity to bring this up. Is this what is supposedly with a full manual and all, a color printed manual of this.
This is a catalog of all. There's more than just this. I don't know if this is the only page you have. This is a catalog.
It looks just like
there's more here. Controller. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, there's more here.
There's Joy-Cons. There's big Joy-Cons already for this thing. There's weird shaped Joy-Con. I don't even know how to explain them.
Yeah.
There's two controllers, but
there was an Xbox. There was an Xbox looking one.
Yeah, and there's one of them actually has that C button on the controller too.
Well, actually, I think they all have it, don't they? Let me double check that. No, some of these don't have the C button on it. Interesting.
Okay, well,
it's hard to tell because there's extra buttons on them, but it's because third-party Joy-Cons and controllers have extra buttons for light modes and vibration modes and all that stuff. So it's hard to tell if one of these other buttons double.
Looks
like
I'll be able to buy that off a TikTok shop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does. It does.
Dev, I wonder who's making these though. Those Joy-Cons are the ones I actually want to get my hands on. I do like some. I do like some big Joy-Cons.
Look a lot like the Five Below ones. If you guys ever use those. Those
always. I never go third party pro controllers, man. Never.
Never. You were talking to Drip. Drip made his living on YouTube. Talking about third-party controllers.
There's some good ones out there.
There are some good ones. There are good ones.
Now there's a lot of official pro controllers are.
I mean, dude, there's some that are. I got two in the mail today.
For one day, Johnny, can you have not bad opinions for one day?
That's not a bad opinion to get the actual first party Nintendo made pro controller is not a bad opinion. It's one of the best controllers ever made.
No. The opinion that
controller you get an 8-bit do one, and that's
those are good.
The opinion that you had, Johnny, you don't even listen to what you said. What you said was all the third-party controllers suck. And the only good one is the pro controller.
The first party one. So why spend your money on third party?
No. You can't misconstrue your own words. Let's talk about your own words. What you, Mr. Hold Nintendo accountable, hold yourself accountable for your own words. And you said,
they do suck.
Not all of them. There's a lot of good ones.
All of the ones that I've tried are terrible.
Okay, Mr. Only ones I've tried.
I'd give you some recommendations because I do know some good ones.
Have you tried 8-Bit Do?
I'll give you a recommendation. It's called the Nintendo.
Have you tried 8-Bit Do?
I have several.
Have you tried 8-Bit Do? Have you tried Mobile Pad? Have you tried anybody who's good?
Console
Power 8 makes good ones. Stuff. Power 8, they're cheap, but they make good ones. They're good. They're good
got
controllers.
A Moscow Mule in him. He's not going to calm down.
No, he's not.
Never. I've never calmed down in my life.
No, I actually did get one from Nixie today. That is pretty interesting and pretty nice. It actually has the swappable buttons, so it'll go for the Switch, but then you can change the A and B and the X and Y so the right, and you can actually flip the D-pad and the other stick around, so it's like PlayStation style too.
GameCube one,
yeah, that's all right,
and it's meh. It's meh.
I agree, that's meh. See, you're right about that one. You are correct about that one. It is meh. It's fine. It's not the greatest.
My sister in the chat says, can't confirm. He's never calmed down in his life.
As long as I've known him, he's definitely never calmed down.
Before it was asked the difference between an infrared and optical sensor.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's basically the light. The light for infrared is infrared light. Optical light is visible light.
Interesting.
The optical sensor shoots the light out, it bounces off and goes back to the sensor.
So the
infrared sensor is pulling in infrared light.
Can they do the same things?
It depends. Infrared is often used to send a burst of light, whereas optical fires a lot of individual little lights. So an optical sensor, when you're moving your mouse around, it's shooting beams down, and when it detects that the beam coming back up, it has moved, it can then change something. Whereas an infrared sensor can see infrared light that people cannot. So it can be used to you could use it as like a TV remote. That's what a TV remote does. As infrared light, it just does a wide burst of infrared light.
So are you saying that this is a laser pointer for cats?
Yes.
Could be.
That is exactly what it is. Oh my
that's
god!
the selling point for the Switch too.
Effectively,
I think you nailed it, Cheesy.
It's Nintendo. It's for Nintendogs. It's for the cats, so you can play with them with a laser. That's exactly what it is.
And then you could give up on it and you have your cat.
Oh, okay. Wait. This is totally like, I don't even think this is the same thing. But if they wanted to bring Nintendogs and Nintendcats and all of that back, could they actually just like use your real pets and put them in the game?
I mean,
take a picture of your pet, scan them,
scan your optical scanner thing. Or you take a picture.
I don't know.
You take a picture.
We haven't seen a clean image of the back for legit yet. Although we've seen.
You know what we haven't seen?
It doesn't have a camera.
There's no camera.
No, but if you take a picture and you can upload the picture to the console,
that too.
The system on a chip's going to have neural cores in it, so it could use artificial intelligence.
I mean, it's got AI already. We know it. Upscaling. Yeah. Come on, patent. I told you guys about this earlier.
Like Google Photos, right? If you go into Google Photos or like Apple Photos or whatever,
it knows. It knows faces.
You type in like dog, and it will pull up all the dog photos because it knows. What to look for.
Yeah, Dropbox does that now too.
I mean, effectively, Nintendo could have you upload a photo, and then it would be able to scan the photo and tell like what kind of dog you have, and then put that kind of dog into it. Not necessarily identically, but it could. I mean, if they really wanted to go through all the effort to write that.
That's code. One of the new features of the Nintendo Switch Online. You could upload a picture of your pet and get it into Nintendogs and cats. I
feel like that's actually a really good selling point.
I'm not playing with some of these dogs.
I feel like that's a really good selling point, honestly.
Yeah.
Nintendo, take that idea. I'll give it to you.
That's a good one.
Let us scan our own pets.
Yeah. And then Nintendogs is just on Nintendo Switch Online. Not in one of the systems. It's just there. It's just its own app in Nintendo Switch Online.
I just thought of an idea for the optical sensor. They put DS games on the Nintendo Switch Online, and you use the sensor as the touch to touch on the, like when you're playing in dock mode.
That may work. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. It's weird that it's just weird. I mean, it's Nintendo, so it's not like weird that they're doing something like that and putting something like that on the controller. It's just weird where they put it, because most of the time it's hidden. It's completely hidden away. Like if you're playing in handheld mode, those things are not anywhere to be found.
But also, okay, if you are going to use it as a mouse, that means that you have to have like a table nearby, or like it's probably not going to read on your lap very well.
Oh,
so
100%.
Like what?
You never did a mouse on your stomach when you didn't have a, like I do it all the time. I work in IT, man. I was working on a computer that was behind a TV on the wall, and I had to use a mouse on my stomach. Yeah, it works.
Oh no, Cheesy, you might have to get an end table.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not the way that people want to play console games.
I agree, Cheesy.
But what? All right, okay. Hold on. So when you
do,
play,
I have to listen, or is this just going to be garbage?
No, we could just mute him. We can server mute him if you want.
Because the only time you would use this is in like tabletop mode, or like, I don't know. You're making it something like a.
So here, I kind of agree with Johnny here, because if you're sitting across a room and you're trying to use that as a mouse, like unless the cursor's huge, like one like a 80-year-old man would use on their laptop. So because they can't see a thing, like it would be impossible to play a game like that.
Johnny, are you really trying to make the argument? Are you trying to make the argument that
for the screen like a pointer, for the screen like a Wiimote type thing?
Yeah,
is that something it could be, or is that not?
I mean, you think
mouse, guys? It's a mouse.
This is too crazy. It's a mouse.
It's not a mouse. It's an optical sensor.
Mario.
What else could it be?
And the way that does anyone remember what Jeff said like 10 minutes ago? That they do the exact same thing, just with different types of light. They don't function. They don't necessarily.
How are you going to hold it?
Can I finish my sentence? They don't function the same exact way.
An optical sensor is meant for you to be really close to your surface. It's not meant to be like.
Okay, so it's not like do something on screen with it like this.
If you pick up your computer mouse and go like this,
it doesn't work.
It has to be near the surface.
Okay, so what else could it be? Like, what are you doing with it other than that? What are you doing with it?
It's a mouse, man. It's a mouse.
It has to be that. Like the where it's like.
You have to also establish that none of this could be that none of this is real.
Oh yeah, it could not even have the damn thing on
until
there.
Tomorrow when we see it all. When it's revealed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tomorrow's the reveal date.
All of this that's happening around me right now is all fake and happening in my brain.
We're in a simulation, bro.
Zero chance.
The only thing that I can think of a mouse being useful, especially for a Switch where it's like you're not really playing a game, is editing software.
Oh my God. Have you never used a internet browser? Have you never played Mario Maker?
What I'm saying though is, yeah, but those are games that it's like you don't.
Have you never played Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Didn't they? There's a version for Switch, isn't there? What do they do? You just use the
yeah, you use the controller. It's not that great to control that way, so you need the mouse.
Like yeah.
Plus, they like
where
have more
stop
more PC game like. You'll be able to play Civilization easier. Like to have the option to be mouse user is actually pretty good.
Come on, I'm not saying that they're not going to. Nobody, including Nintendo, is going to not utilize an optical sensor like a mouse. I guarantee there'll be games. If Nintendo allows the access to the optical sensor, will allow them to use the Joy-Con like a mouse. I'm sure it'll be a thing. But to sit here and say the Nintendo Switch 2, in this case, a handheld mobile console, that it's a good idea for that system to be like, yes, one of your main inputs is going to be like a mouse, is ridiculous.
You have a kickstand. How many times have you used a kickstand?
You're using this thing in the car.
It's going to be one of the main inputs, though.
The internet?
It's a feature. It's a feature, man.
Mean, it doesn't have to be a main input. It's the same thing as the stupid sensor on the bottom. It was used for 3 games. This could be the exact same way.
What Nintendo game's going to use like a mouse?
Mario.
How often have
Paint.
you used the kickstand?
Like one game.
Mario
could use
Maker.
Like a mouse.
You could use a mouse in Mario Maker easy. Like that would be great.
They would 100% put a feature in for one of their games. For one of their games.
Yeah.
That's the infrared sensor. There's like 5 games that utilize the infrared sensor. So yeah, I'm not denying that they'll put a sensor in just for use in a handful of games. But everyone's acting like this is the new way to switch. You said it a second ago, Drew, you were joking, I'm sure. But
I mean, yeah, I was joking.
But
people
are acting like this is going to be a main input for. Oh my God, I can't wait to play Zelda with keyboard and mouse. Can you imagine Zelda? No. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be. It's not something. It's not going to be like every game that you have on your system is now mouse and keyboard compatible via Joy-Con mouse. It's not like it's going to be that way.
Pikmin, and Pikmin's a great.
It's going to be like 7 games.
That's true. Pikmin would be.
Go ahead.
What you're going to do, right, is you're going to take the GameCube disc, right, and you're going to spin it on your finger and then hold the Joy-Con over it, and that's how you're gonna play a GameCube game.
Well, listen, that's why we haven't seen the inside of the other Joy-Con, because it's got the place where you can spin the disc.
Is my finger compatible with a GameCube disc? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They haven't showed the inside of the other one, man. We don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we haven't seen the orange one yet. We've only seen the side of the blue.
Oh, that could blow our minds.
Jeeb, let me ask you this question.
Sure.
All the stuff that we've talked about, your great idea about the new way to switch, with being able to use the tablet and the screen at the same time. With all these leaks, where's your percentage of that happening at now?
Well, we haven't seen anything with software. Which that would be mostly a software thing. To see a game on a TV and in your hands would be a software thing. You have to turn the screen on to figure anything out.
But you would think that the dock would be a part of that. The dock would be a part of that, a big part of that, right?
Yeah, I don't like. It's not looking good for me. If that's what you're asking me, it's not looking good for my theory with the way the dock is potentially looking like we showed you earlier in the show. It doesn't look like the dock has a whole lot inside of it. But it's gonna have something inside of it. I feel like it's got to have something more. But I don't think it's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, there's a lot of tech in it. It's basically a second system without a screen and a fan. I don't think anything like that. If this is what the dock looks like, which I think it might be, I don't think the dock has any of those features. No.
Well, people thought that the C meant to connect cheesy.
Yeah.
Even though,
it might not. I've got it. I know what the C stands for. It stands for
Easy.
For compute, it stands for computer because
it turns on the mouse.
Because you have a mouse and you press computer mode,
switch, baby.
Computer mode.
The new rumor is the C stands for like a new social media, like kind of like Miiverse. And
I saw that.
Use a mouse for like a Miiverse type thing. That would be perfect.
No, it wouldn't. Use a joystick.
It's a computer button. I like it.
Oh my God.
It's a computer button. That makes sense.
Mystery
solved. Good job, guys. We did it.
My big question though, is this an Xbox?
Yes, it is.
It will be probably.
Yes, it is an Xbox. It is an Xbox.
We're probably going to see Sea of Thieves in that launch trailer, in that reveal trailer. Sea of Thieves.
Speaking of that, before we call this one, what all you guys, what game do you want to see on the Switch 2 that's not already there? Not just a better version of one that's there, a new one that's not there. That's already out.
What's your question?
So not like a new IP.
Released?
Like one that's already out, not like a new Nintendo game, like a third-party game that's not on the Switch currently that could now come to Switch because it can run it.
Okay. I won't start. Let's go cheesy first. We'll go in order.
Aww. Well, I mean, this isn't a good example of like its power, but I would love to see Chibi Robo like come back.
That's not a third-party game.
Third party.
You missed the question.
Easy.
Yeah, third-party game that's not on the Switch because the Switch isn't powerful enough.
Yeah.
But it might be on the Switch 2 because Switch 2 might be powerful
Like
enough.
probably what Johnny's going to say, Elden Ring.
Yeah, I would say for me, it'd be Monster Hunter Wilds. I would love that to be. But if you could tell by the PC performance issues they're having, anything that's not as least as powerful as like an Xbox Series X will be able to play that very well.
That's because they optimize it for the Switch 2 first.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have a third-party game, Cheesy?
Okay, yeah. I would love to play Split Fiction. That's that new game that was announced by the creator.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That one looks good.
Yes.
That one looks
It
really
looks
good.
good.
Nailed it.
And now I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to play that on Switch or not, or the Switch 2. But I really hope so because it looks good.
That's a good one. That would be fun to
That's
play
a
on
good
Switch.
one.
I feel like that's going to come to Switch. I feel like that's got a good chance.
I feel like it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with Jeff next because I don't like Johnny.
He already said his.
Yeah, I already said one.
Oh. That's how I pay attention. Johnny, what do you do? What do you want?
Elden Ring. No, that one's pretty obvious. That one's coming to the Switch 2. That's day one, probably.
Probably.
No, give me Madden.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Switch.
That's a really good one. I like that.
Or college football, or both.
College football would be much better. I'd much rather have college football. I'm going to go with the oldie but a goodie. Just give me Red Dead Redemption 2. That's all I want.
Lenny!
And that ran on the PS4, so like
it can do it.
You can do it.
I don't have one. I was not prepared to answer this question.
Yeah, you do.
I had to like look at
You're
my
wearing
game.
the T-shirt.
It's not third party. It's a first party, just Sony.
Yeah, that would be third party if they put it on.
They put Horizon on.
You know what? Sony's been putting their games on the computer.
They have. They've been putting. Yeah. You never know.
I'm gonna go with not Astrobot, even though he's on my shirt, and that was hell of a game, and I just finished it yesterday, and it definitely was deserving game of the year. I'm gonna go with the Spider-Man games because I'm a Spider Boy now. Give
that would
me
be fun
Miles
to play
Morales
handheld.
on the Switch too.
That would be actually really
Sony.
nice.
Let's go.
That would be very nice.
Come on.
I would love that.
What I want is if they bring these third-party games, I want Amiibo for these third-party games. A Spider-Man Amiibo.
Give me Spider-Man on the system, and also give me the Spider-Man in Smash.
I was
yes.
Johnny, do
That
you
would
think
make
we're
no sense.
Do you think we're done with Amiibo?
No, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
You think so?
100%.
Money.
Yeah.
No. They like money too much.
They have been really scaling it back for most of Switch's life.
Yeah.
Not untrue, but they like money though.
Well,
Like, we didn't even
it all started with Smash, and now that we have Sora, has that been released yet?
Yeah, all the Smash stuff's out.
So like I don't know, maybe that's the swan song for Amiibo.
We had the Tears of the Kingdom ones.
Yeah, and we had the Splatoon 3 ones that came out later.
Are those the last ones? What's the most current?
Probably those.
I think it was the Splatoon ones, like the 2 Cali Marie and those.
Marina.
I think those are the.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been any
Zelda game didn't get one, right?
No.
Although it should have.
Mario and Luigi didn't get one. Didn't get any.
I think they were. I think Nintendo is trying to fix the market that they created with the amiibo, because I think they might have thought that they oversaturated with the amount of amiibos, and they're trying to scale back and create demand.
More.
I don't think they're trying to get.
They tried to do it with those Animal Crossing
them.
ones, and they just sat on shelves forever.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting rid of them. I think they're just scaling back and creating demand. So when they release one, people go gravitate and sell it out immediately. It's my theory. It's the plastic money, dude. Like they print that resin out like it's dollar bills. It's much money.
I agree, but they have really scaled it back, and the stuff that they
not denying that.
Even the features for them is like
true.
Yeah,
this
they
is
don't
true.
really do anything.
That's more telling
than
that.
Features. Just give me statues. I don't care. I don't need features. Take the NFC chip out.
It's more like a pop figure now.
Yeah. A couple from the chat here. We got a good recommendation, although this is definitely happening because they already announced this like a couple years ago, I think. Call of Duty coming to the Switch. That's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll probably get like the one that's 5 years old.
Because in the lawsuit, Drip, right? That's where it happened. It's going to happen.
It was when Xbox was buying
the sale. The sale of it, not the lawsuit.
Activision. Yeah. Part of the deal was that the 10 years on Switch. Nintendo platforms, and they also signed the same deal with Sony eventually, but Sony bitched the whole time.
We got a Bloodborne in the chat.
Yes, that's PlayStation, but
yeah, well,
it could happen.
Too. Could happen.
All of the From Software. Like we haven't gotten all the Dark Souls. We didn't get Sekiro.
There's only one Dark Souls on the Switch, right? Just the first one.
Yeah, it's just the first one.
And Monster Hunter Wilds, which is like you think, of course that's coming to the Switch. At least it's not coming to the Switch 1 because it can't run on the damn thing. But I assume it's going to be a launch title or close to it. Is my assumption.
I feel like that's one they want to try to get on there just because of the success of the other one that they had on there.
If you recall from the Game Awards when they
won't run well,
the trailer of the Game Awards back, what was it? Not this year, but the year prior, where they announced that game or whatever. It said Nintendo on it. It didn't say Nintendo Switch, and then we were like, "Oh my god!"
It did.
It said Nintendo, not Nintendo Switch. It did not.
I don't think it did.
I thought that was one of the games where we're like, oh, it said Nintendo on it. So what's
I'm not buying that game until it comes to the Switch 2. So
yeah, I think everybody was just expecting it to say
Nintendo
that's what it was. Coming to a Nintendo
that.
console because
Monster Hunter is. Either way, I think it's very likely it could be a launched game for the Switch 2 because
they might do
soon before after release.
If they don't do Wilds, they might do their own like special
another Nintendo exclusive
Monster Hunter. Yeah,
maybe even another side title. Like I wouldn't. Rise was a Switch exclusive at first.
Yeah, well, for a while, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I'd be totally okay with that. I really, really love that game because I never really got into Monster Hunter before that. But man, I really liked Monster Hunter Rise.
And before we wrap up, too, I wanted to mention that Power Man a while ago re-upped his membership to VIP status. Thank you, Power Man. Enjoy more members content coming this month. We have a month, January one coming up the last week of January at some point. That's when we always do them, the last week of the month. So
if Monster Hunter does come to the Switch 2, I will be wanting some hunting parties.
Oh, yes.
So.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crossplay, right? So I mean, I'll play with you.
I'll be playing it on
sure. Wow, Jeff, not even getting the Switch 2 version.
My buddy
hasn't been announced.
My buddy Alex and I we're trying to work on getting a review code on from Capcom. Trying to make it happen for our PlayStation channel. I don't know if it'll happen, but we're trying. It'd be nice. I'm buying the game either way because I need to play that game. That demo was super cool. That the early beta.
Well, now you have a PlayStation 5.
What, Johnny?
Now you have a PlayStation 5.
I do. I know. I have one. Yeah, I'll play it on there. But I'll play it on Switch too if they release it there because that'd be fun. All right, gents. It's been a fun time. Thank you guys so much for your time tonight. You guys can find all these lovely people, except for Johnny, in the description. You can find Johnny there too, but he's not lovely. Cheesy.
I was gonna say, damn, dude, you didn't even put him in the description.
Wow, dude. I'm the one that has the Nintendo connection, and you're talking crap to me.
Yes. Cheesy, where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I may not be on all of those, but I'll pop in every once in a while at CheezyC64, CheezyC64. Follow me on Blue Sky as well. Why not? And then you can listen to Johnny and I on Communication Error Podcast.
Yeah. Jeff?
I'm on everything. I have a TikTok. I have my YouTube. I stream on Twitch. It's all under Jeff Troidvania. I don't go on Twitter anymore. I'm on Blue Sky, so you're gonna find me there for any kind of posts.
Yeah, man, your Blue Sky blew up. I checked it and I was like, oh my God, you got a lot of people over there.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. I need to use it, except for I can't use social media like that because I hate it. So more power to you if you can. I hate social media like that. Yeah. Every time I use it, I end up bringing out the worst in myself, and I hate myself and delete everything. That's my social media. Johnny.
Wonderful.
Where people find you?
I'm John Ebo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Communication Error Podcast. I'm not on Blue Sky because I'm already on everything else. I don't feel like it. I was on Threads for a bit.
Yeah, I tried Threads. Yeah,
that was lame. So I'm not doing another new one.
It is really lame. It's really lame.
They really dropped the Zuckerberg dropped the ball on that one.
It's pretty lame.
Yeah, that's the end of the show. There's probably music playing right now. There's no after show. We're just gonna say goodbye, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.